What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of 100 Yards of Football Sports Talk Radio. I'm going to be your host and producer this afternoon, Logan Landers. Joining me here today to talk about the 2025, yes, believe it or not, folks, we're already doing 25 draft prospects. Noah Fifita, quarterback out of Arizona, Mr. William Yanish III. William, how you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing great, Logan. How about yourself, man?
Doing well, man. Glad to be here today. Glad to hear your expertise about this talented quarterback coming out of Arizona. But before William breaks it down so eloquently, guys, if you enjoy this episode, like, follow, share, and subscribe. Facebook, YouTube. Also, be sure to go download our podcast every single week. Thanks to the Believe Podcast Network. It's available on all major podcast streaming platforms. So, without further ado, Mr. William Yanish III, please, sir, give us your draft analysis on Noah Fifita, the quarterback coming out of Arizona. What are your thoughts on him, sir?
Oh, man. This kid, Noah Fifita, is someone that I kind of almost overlooked. He's, a redshirt sophomore. Last year was his first year starting, He got in because of an injury to Jaden DeLora, the starting quarterback. This is a kid that's 5'11". He's 194 pounds. This kid, rhythm-based footwork, timing, he's mobile. He keeps his eyes downfield. I watched him, his first two games were against Caleb Williams and USC and Michael Penix with Washington. And this kid literally took both of them down to the wire. The USC game was at 43-41, 3 overtime game. That was a tight one. Coming down to Washington and hanging with Michael Penix until the end. This kid coming out of nowhere, Huntington Beach. Well, like I said, he's not very big, but that's one thing that I have to get straight right now is that just because a player is a certain style of quarterback or a certain thing like that you have to like all of them. And last year, I'm not comparing this kid to Bryce Young or anything, but I really had a problem with Bryce Young and exactly how he was taking the game. His footwork was off and he just didn't have timing, trying to pull the Mahomes thing. But this kid right here, Noah Fifita, he does everything right. He has a quick, snappy release. His IQ is off the charts. And all he does is win. He's got a clutch to him. I mean, coming down. He's got Matt Atkins is his tight end coach and passing game coordinator. And that makes for a offense that is based on mismatches and such. The Fifita's tight end last year, Tanner McLaughlin, now with the Cincinnati Bengals, is a great example of that. He was Noah's best friend. And, that's what tight ends are when it comes to a young quarterback, having that safety valve, having that reliable target, having the mismatch to where you can toss it up to the guy and you can jump up and get it is just so critical for a young player coming into the league. And he is like down the list he's on nobody's radar right now, except for mine. And I am absolutely excited to see this kid grow and see how he handles everything. He's got one heck of a target, and Tetaroa McMillan, the 6'5", 210-pound receiver. Not sure who his which tight end is going to step up since McLaughlin left for the Bengals. There's a couple different options, but it's just going to be a thing in preseason and practice that's going to decide that.
Yeah,
After
yeah, man, no doubt, and that's the thing too about these quarterbacks, man, is it's the pieces around them, especially in college, that really amplify them and make them look good, and that's how they get on draft boards. But as you mentioned, he's not on a lot. He's kind of under the radar, but that's what we're here to do today, and I'll let you keep shining your light on him. Keep going ahead, my friend.
Well, I mentioned those first two games versus Washington and USC. After that, he finished with 7 straight wins over number 22 Utah, number 19 UCLA, number 12 Oklahoma. I mean, all this kid does is beat ranked teams and win. He won't sell out his receiver. He literally, I've seen him throw his receivers out of danger of being hit and throw with anticipation. And that is one thing that when it comes to the NFL, the timing, the footwork comes all the way up through the body, and it affects your accuracy. It affects your throwing power. It affects a whole lot of things, and just the timing of it. And this kid is, I feel, going to be one heck of a player. And if he steps away from Arizona and goes to, a big school, this kid is going to light the nation on fire. Being surrounded by that, like I mentioned, Matt Atkins before. I mean, that right there, that is a coach that is putting Fifita in position for success. And finishing the season with 72.4% completions, 2,869 yards, 25 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and he had an 83.8 QER, which was good for 8th across the nation overall quarterbacks. And the ball security speaks for itself. Only 6 interceptions. I saw 1 or 2 that were just tips, that stuff that wasn't his fault. I mentioned the Heisman odds. I feel this kid is actually capable, or, potentially he can come in and make a run at the Heisman if he has the talent around him. And I feel that is something to be watching this season. Also,
Yeah, I mean, when you look at him, he's like you said, he's and you brought up a good point earlier. I need to touch on is we see a lot now with guys when they go into the draft, when they come into the league, might not be the prototypical quarterback in terms of size, right? But I mean, we've seen in recent years, especially, I think immediately of just 2 quarterbacks in the league who are tearing it up, who aren't a certain stature of, we'll say, Jalen Hurts and CJ Stroud, 2 guys who, when they were drafted, like you mentioned, the first thing people said is, they're not the tallest. They're going to be able to see over the old line is always the classic adage that they say. Can they throw over these guys? We've seen it plenty of times. All right, I think we can probably put that old adage to rest now. And I think that Noah Fifita is also going to do great things at Arizona. But go ahead and keep going there.
yeah, but he steps in. This is, like I said, the little guy, but he comes in and he puts the snap into the ball. He puts he makes up for not being that size. Not he cheeseburger away from 200 pounds. That's one thing, and he is just clutch. I mean, this is a kid that came out of nowhere, literally got in, because of an injury, and then started playing really, really well and hanging with the best of the best in last year's draft. And I don't know what else to say, man. All the kid does is win, and he is on my radar. I have 2 quarterbacks that are, I feel, under the radar and have the ability to make the jump to something great. And that is Noah Fifita and Baron Morton, that we're going to touch on here in a bit, from Texas Tech. I am just excited. This kid makes me want to watch football. He's just one of those players.
No doubt. And as our main guy, Vince Tenner, always says, in a quote he gives certain players is must see TV. And I think that, William, you can agree that Noah Fifita coming out of Arizona is someone that you want to change the channels for, that you want to go and tune into and watch every given Saturday, because he could be, as you mentioned, the next man up. He could be that hidden gem that a lot of people are talking about in this league and in college football. And we'll see what the young man can do. We'll see what he can do this upcoming season, and how well he can make the Wildcats work, and all the players around him, how he can make them better. But hey, William, I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate the talking about this guy, talking about Noah Fifita, breaking it down, doing a good job. And like I said, we appreciate all the hard work you've done. We also appreciate all of you, the fans, turning in every single week on Facebook and YouTube, liking, commenting, sharing across multiple Facebook pages and everywhere else on social media. Also, be sure to go download our podcast. I'm getting some good traction over there, so we appreciate y'all for that. On Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere you enjoy listening to your shows, you can find us there every single week. All the videos that you watch are over there converted to just audio. So go over there and listen to it while you're in the car, while you're working out at the gym, or while you're just doing some research prep for all these great 2025 draft prospects. You can have us on in your ears, hearing our analysis on these great players. Once again, William Yanish III, appreciate you coming on, my friend. Talk about Noah Fifita, quarterback out of Arizona. I've been your host and producer, Logan Landers. Guys, go out there, get your draft film ready for 2025. I'll talk to you again on another live